Welcome back to Refereeing with the Sappers. Today we're going to cover tips and tricks that assigners want new referees to know, and we've got special guests Carlos Ledesma and Chris Enerdele to join us here. They've got years of experience assigning games for different clubs and have worked with hundreds of referees over the years. So let's talk a little bit about why refereeing is great for really anyone, teenagers, adults, kind of across the board.
First, flexible schedule. You can work whenever you are available. If you can work in the mornings and the afternoons, 1 game, 2 game, 4 games, that's very helpful. Great pay. On average, something between $25 and $30 an hour. If you consider the lower ones and the higher ones,
New
you can
referees.
average that for new referees.
Yeah.
But you can make as high as $65, $70, $75. It definitely is entertaining. You get to work with a lot of different people. Your crew is different almost every time. You get to meet new people. Plus, spectators can be entertaining sometimes too. And yes, physically active. It does keep you out there running. Some games, when you do tournaments, 24,000 steps.
Yeah,
Easy.
Right.
Easy. Yeah.
24,000 back for sure. Now, the camaraderie is another thing. Refereeing has helped me, at least, meet people that I never would have met. And it has helped me expand my network.
I think we're kind of a case study, like what the three of us have ever interacted
Probably
with.
not.
I'm in Costco with my wife. And, hey, how do you know him? Let me guess. Soccer.
The camaraderie can be a family activity. Carlos and Scott are a case study in that. They have, for years, refereed as a family unit. That Carlos would bring his son, and then Scott and his 2 children would come out and they'd take a field for me for a day, and it was absolutely awesome. And then staying connected with the game. That's how I got into this. Our youngest daughter made the comp squad, and I knew I didn't have the licenses to coach that, and so I needed to stay connected with the game, and I started refereeing, and now I'm an assigner.
So we've talked about why refereeing is a good gig. Now let's talk a little bit about how you guys as assigners, you work and help advance referees.
Yeah, from day one, we've got your back. We're there for you to help you learn the game, train you in the game, and if anything happens throughout your games, we got your back.
For sure. As far as spectator abuse, coach abuse, player abuse, we take that stuff seriously.
Yeah, we take steps to make sure that you are safe as possible and supported. We'll work with you to accommodate your locations, your preferred fields, and your times. If you can only work at a certain part because you don't have a ride and you can walk there or ride your bike, we got your back.
We as assigners can make recommendations to people that assign us to higher level matches. It's not going to happen after the first game. However, keep the nose to the grindstone, and the recommendations to move up will come. Going hand in hand with the recommendations of the higher level assigners, those will come higher level games.
Just older age groups.
Yeah, the older age group, and honest feedback on your performances will help in both of those previous 2 points. We're here to grow you as a referee. We've seen and done a whole bunch of dumb stuff, and we'd really like to save you the time and embarrassment of doing the same dumb stuff that we did.
As you begin working with your assigners, communication it's key in how you work together. So let's talk a little bit about what you guys expect from referees that work with.
We as the assigners are responsible for providing the referees for the matches, and you as the referee are responsible for refereeing the match. We're inextricably linked.
I know when I first got started, I was a little bit intimidated, some to reach out to you guys thinking you're super busy, all of those things. But I've learned over the years that you guys look for that communication. You want to build that relationship.
I want to meet every single rep that works for those.
Absolutely.
Please update your availability. Certain platforms give you the option to mark on there that you are available or not available for certain days, for certain times. That is what we look for when we're assigning games. That and of course skill level. But if it says you are available, and we give you a game, but you turn it back because all of a sudden you're not available, doesn't make me too happy.
No, we're not thrilled. Well, we're not upset either. I believe recently I had assigned you a couple of matches right after you had made that other plan, and then had to send it back, and happens. We send out a bunch of communications. We're hoping that you're going to read and understand the instructions that we've sent.
Basically, we take the time to compose that email to give you all the information you potentially need for that match or that weekend.
Good point.
And if you don't read it and you ask that question,
We know you didn't read it.
You know, you didn't read it. Okay, this falls back to the previous one a little bit too in communications. When we're sending you refs an email,
Direct
a
email
direct email
with your name at the top.
yes, when we need a response, please respond.
And feel free to reach out to us to report any issues that you might have with fields, spectators, coaches, other referees. Help us out, report issues, because what that does, it doesn't label you as the referee that finds all the problems. It is you being proactive in helping the next referee not have to deal with the same issue.
I know when I first started, I was a little bit hesitant to report things to you guys, but I've tried to focus on that in the last couple of years, and I think it's paid some dividends.
Absolutely.
Okay, if you're running late to your game, our assigning platform gives you your crew's name, phone number, emails. Please notify your crew if you're running late.
Once we start thinking about getting on the field, let's talk about some practical advice for both assistant refs and center refs, starting with the new assistant refs.
Absolutely. Know your priorities when you're on the field. Offside line is number one. That's the decision that the referee can make with the least credibility out on the field. Number two would be out of bounds. And then number three is fouls. Over in your first few matches, you're likely not going to be calling any fouls. You're going to be getting used to the flow of the game, sticking with the second last defender on the offside line. And if you can help with out of bounds, please go ahead and do so. Oh, and don't be afraid to tell the center referee, hey, this is my first game ever, or this is my first 5 games. We know how we can protect you. We know how it was when we were starting out and how our center referees took care of us. We're going to take care of you.
I know for when I'm working with a new ref, I immediately tell them, like, just focus on the outside of it. I can help with everything else.
Absolutely.
And I even tell them, like, look, if I ever come over to you to like ask what did you see on a foul, and your answer to me is sorry, I didn't see it, I was watching the line, like you're gonna get a fist bump from me. Like, that's you're doing your job, right?
Yep.
That's fine.
On your first few games, focus on mechanics. Look the part. If you are using proper flag mechanics, running to the corner, you're going to look the part. And everyone else is going to buy your calls.
So building on that, let's talk about what advice you guys have for center referees.
To understand the leadership role that you've got out on that field. You are the captain. You are the person that is most seen by everybody out there. Understand that how you approach the game is how others are going to see your calls. Be there, be on time, be prepared. Look the part. Don't show up disheveled, things falling out of your bag. Be prepared to hold a pregame in which you can set the expectations for the crew, what they can expect from you, as well as what you should expect from them.
Okay, understand that the game that you're reffing. Sometimes it could be a Division 6 rec game or a number 1 versus number 2 state cup game. So you have to adjust for that level of game.
But you probably heard us talk on other reviews of our games, like things that are maybe not a foul at the U16 NPL match is a foul at U11 correctly, right? You need to know those ages and the levels.
Right. This goes with playing the part, right? Be confident. Look the part, play the part. If you don't, the spectators, the coaches, the players, they'll sense the weakness. They'll pounce on you. So be confident. And provide feedback to your ARs. Accept feedback from your ARs at the half, after the game.
And talk about game critical decisions, things you nailed and things that you can do better.
So we've talked a little bit about getting set up and started, but you guys see a lot of different referees, a lot of different skill levels, a lot of different desires. What makes you want to invest in a particular referee and see them succeed at even higher levels?
All right. For me, professionalism starts visually. You have to look the part. Get to the field, shirts tucked in, socks pulled up. You're not looking, like Chris said earlier, disheveled. Right? You're looking the part, and then you're acting the part. We'll expand a little bit more on this.
Punctuality is key. Being there on time. I believe it was one of the NFL coaches, on time is late. Early is on time. That shows we as assigners that want to be there.
Be flexible. We're flexible. We expect sometimes you'll have to be flexible too. A game might change from one field to another, or time might change. You'd appreciate your flexibility on that.
And being dependable is super key to develop a deep relationship with the assigner. Flexibility and dependability are sort of go hand in hand.
When if you can just trust that if they tell you they're going to do something, tell you they're going to be there, they're going to be there, and you don't have to sweat it.
Absolutely. Let your word be your word.
All right. Clear communication. Yes, for example, if you want to communicate an issue or something about your game, don't just say, in my game today, right? Give us all the details. Where, what time, what location, who the teams were, uh, names if you have them. Just get as much clear communication as you can. If it's an email or text, as much information as you can.
It saves us some time in looking things up.
I think part of that's just understanding you guys are managing more than just my schedule. You're managing every game for the entire club, and
we're like, okay, I got to go back to my computer and look it
That's
up.
great. I signed 123 games today. Let me go look it up.
Exactly.
Desire to grow, as Carlos, Scott, and myself have done. We've grown in this game not out of a desire to stay put. And there's nothing more heartening for us is to see a young referee or a newer referee wanting to grow. Because at the end of the day, this hair is great. I am not the future of refereeing in this area, and neither are these guys.
Katie's a good example.
Oh my gosh.
Right? She's got the desire and the ability to grow.
Absolutely.
now that we've talked about the things that refs can do to build your confidence and get you the word for them, let's talk about what are the things that are kind of pet peeves that can get you to where you're like, okay, like, all right, oh boy.
How much time?
Right? Poor communication skills sets a low bar. It's unfortunate. Some introductory emails from new referees I get, hey, I got my referee license recently. How do I start refereeing? That doesn't help me out in the least regard. Let me know where you got your license, where you live, if you play, things of that nature.
Maybe call you Mr. Zennerhill?
Maybe that's a great, yeah. Never been called, never responded to hey, still don't respond to it on the field. I understand that some of our referees are used and maybe have never composed a business email, business letter, things of that nature. However, how would you talk to your first boss at your first job? Avoiding responsibility altogether. Refereeing is not without its peril of public scrutiny. We've got spectators lining the pitch. We've got players that don't like bad calls and coaches that don't like bad calls. But at the end of the day, we as referees are the ones that own that field. It is our field, and it's our responsibility to take care of the game. And as your referee career goes on, Carlos and myself are going to expect from referees with 4, 5, 6 years of experience that they're going to take the whistle and they're going to center a game. With travesty for Carlos and myself is some of the youths in the area, 16, 17-year-old youths will not referee a U9 match. The failure to learn from mistakes and not being coachable. We all will make mistakes. We are all human. We will all mess up. And it's totally fine. Some of those things that we mess up, we just don't know that we messed them up until somebody says something about it. Take it to heart. It's not that we're trying to coach you into an error. We're trying to coach you out of an error. Be coachable.
Yeah. So every game you'll learn something.
I always say everything that I know for sure about the laws of the game or refereeing is because I screwed it up once.
Fair. Fair.
Yep.
Whoa, we talked about this earlier, not updating availability. That is key. Always key. You will likely not get games if your availability is not available, right?
Your availability.
We don't know you're available, right? So
we don't know you're available, or you say you're available and you're not. If I see the name come up, it's going to the bottom of the list. If I've got no other spaces, because I can't trust what you've entered.
Yeah. Overconfidence to the level of arrogance. There's a certain level of confidence that you should have, but it crosses the line when you're obviously overconfident. If you missed a call, it's okay to say, I missed it, I didn't see it. Not bad. As opposed to just sticking to your guns and being completely wrong.
I think there's even times I've played with, as I've learned as a ref, like, where do I draw that confidence and arrogance line? Like, I've experimented with it. In some games, I tried to push it a little bit further, and then I realized, oh, I went too far, right? And then it's okay, I need to dial this back.
Although this gig does pay generously, especially if you're a teenager. You're not going to go out to work at McDonald's and make money you are making here, or have the flexibility. And if you're an adult, same, right? I hope you do it less for the money and more for the love of the game. Do it for the reasons we talked about before, why you should become a referee, and less for the money because the money will be.
The refs that are there only for the money, you can sense it too. Like, it doesn't give a good experience for the players. Ultimately, we're in it for the kids. So that concludes our episode here with tips and tricks from the referee assigner perspective, building on the other episode that we had and tips and tricks just from the referee perspective. Really hope that you enjoy this. You get something out of it. Please like and subscribe, share if you think other people can benefit. We want people to want to referee, and we hope this is a useful tool. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you out on the pitch.
You got your back.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at the screen like, okay, go ahead, Carlos.
Right.
Okay. Man. I said, go ahead. He hits the button, and like I hit it before the animation brought it up. Boom, right off the tracks.
I know.
Oh my God, just gone. Yeah, I nailed
There
it.
you go. Ding, ding,
I
ding,
did
ding.
just stop talking now. Let Carlos go. Downtrodden. That's the first time I've used that this year.
It's okay.
That's
That's okay. Katie used ethos.
Oh my God, and she used another one about 3 minutes prior, and I went, oh, this woman.
Yep. She's in one of the
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what.
That's true.
On the first one, I better be Mr. Zenardelli, and I can back you off the fence. I'm not hay. I'm not hay.
Say
So
it all
you gotta
over
say it
again.
all over again.
Damn it.
But you know what? I don't have to say what I said.
Poor communication skills. Sort yeah. I was gonna say it's sorta, but it doesn't sorta.
Spitballing really good.
Yeah.